Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat, a series in partnership between the Monmouth Independence Chamber of Commerce and WIMPEG to feature our members and to help the community get to know them a little bit better, both professionally and personally. Joining me today, I have Jill Gould, who is the business manager for Downtown Trends and Treasures and Boomerang Fashions. So thank you, Jill, for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, so when you were looking at job opportunities, because I know you've PCL, Partnerships and Community Living, they're the parent, if you will, of Downtown Trends as well as Boomerang Fashions. So why choose to work in the Monmouth Independence community?
Well, I have a long history with PCL. I'm friends with the founders, and so I've been a supporter of PCL for a very long time, and I was a stay-at-home mom for a very long time. And so after that, the job opportunity up here came up, and because of the mission of PCL and what they do and what they stand for, that got me to come up here and work.
So how does Downtown Trends and Boomerang Fashions, how do they help fulfill the mission for PCL?
Well, we run the stores as a community business, but we have people with developmental disabilities working in there, and they have a job coach, and they learn job skills and have opportunities to be in the community and interact with people that they might not normally get.
Well, that's great. And how many employees do you have right now between the two?
We have 6 women with disabilities that work there.
Very nice.
At this moment.
Now, how would you classify the difference between Downtown Trends and Boomerang Fashions for those who may not be familiar?
Downtown Trends is, we have clothing for everybody. We have men's, women's, children's, all kinds of things. The Boomerang Fashions we opened to get into the downtown Monmouth area for the college kids and the younger people. So it's more a juniors, younger crowd.
And the name Boomerang Fashions is quite cute. You know, sort of the return, if you will, of Boomerang is very clever. Did you come up with that?
No, Joanne Furman actually came up with that.
It was really nice.
Yes, we thought that was good with the resale clothing. And
so with your strong ties to PCL and in the time that you've been in our community, what would you say is a feature that makes Monmouth Independence special or unique?
I think the small town atmosphere is what I enjoy the most about Monmouth. You can come up here and it's so comfortable and easy, and I love that I can walk back and forth between the main office and the stores, and I can run down and just be wherever. It's a very comfortable town.
So the smallness, the proximity that you have just makes it an easier way of living with your job and whatnot.
Yes, it's easy. It's nice.
So what would you say, Boomerang Fashions, Downtown Trends, and PCL all are members of the Chamber. From your experience so far, what has been one of the more important benefits of Chamber membership for you?
I think for me and the business as being the manager, exposure in the community is the biggest thing that I see with the Chamber. We have opportunities to do things like this and get our name out. People can see where we are and what we're doing and what our mission is.
Great. And what would you say, let's skip to more of the personal side real quick for a little bit. So far, what would you say has been one of your greatest personal accomplishments?
I'm at work.
Oh, just personally? Yeah. We'll do professional a little bit. Let's do personal.
Personally, I would say I stayed home for a long time with my kids, and they would be my greatest accomplishment. I'm really proud of them. They've turned out to be great young people.
So how many children?
2 children,
okay.
A 24-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son.
So definitely not staying at home raising them anymore.
Nope. Done with that, ready to do something else.
All right, and what would you say professionally has been one of your greatest achievements or accomplishments?
Besides the day-to-day, seeing what people are learning and growing, opening Boomerang was my greatest thing that I've done, I think. I really got to do that on my own, and Downtown Trends was open for many years before I came along to be the manager, but Boomerang was kind of my baby, and I got to open it and set it up and do the whole thing, so that was great.
And I know you've been open, is it 2 years at this point? We did
2.5 years.
2.5, right. I know we did ribbon cutting for you, and it was nice watching people's faces, just like, oh, and like they're shopping and like, pulling things out. And
yeah, it was very fun.
I've had other conversations with people, and they've talked about how, oh, I needed a shirt to wear, so I've just run up Boomerang to grab something, and so it's great that that's a service that you provide, or the people have the ability to shop and to stay local.
Yeah.
So This is probably has become one of my favorite questions that I ask people during chamber chat because I just don't know what the answer is going to be. But what would you say is a hobby or an interest or a skill that you have that might surprise people?
Well, I used to fly airplanes, so I guess that would be my most interesting thing that I've done. I worked at the airport and pumped gas into the tankers for a fire season, and I learned to fly.
A certain kind of plane, or
Just little trainer.
And you just don't do it anymore?
I don't do it anymore. It's not something that you just
right.
I don't know.
Pick up on a weekend.
Just don't do it. Yeah.
All right. So how long did you fly?
Just a couple years.
Wow.
Just a few years. Yeah.
I know years ago, many more years than I care to think about. My husband surprised me for my birthday, and a friend of ours had a little Cessna. We're living in southeastern North Carolina, and so we go up in the Cessna, and all of a sudden the pilot was like, "Okay, you have control." It was really fun, but it was really nice. It was a nice perspective to see the community from that aerial shot, and it was a lot of fun to be in a smaller plane. So you flew for a while. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right, so let's go back to Boomerang Fashions for a little bit. Can you tell us, you said that was your dream, that was your goal, so one of your proudest accomplishments is getting that fulfilled. What made that concept, why that goal to do Boomerang?
We just wanted to have a presence in downtown Monmouth and capitalize the store. Kids from the college don't get out to the store, I guess because it's such a big city, I don't know. But that market down there seemed like a fun place to be and get the PCL word out downtown and on campus, what we're doing and what our mission is.
So have you seen your most routine shoppers, are they the college students primarily at Boomerang?
Not as much as I
thought.
I mean, but we have both. We have the community a lot more than I expected. The summer was much busier than I expected with people from town, and that was a great surprise.
Good. So the word's gotten out.
Yes.
There's retail available in downtown Monmouth. Come check out Boomerang Fashions. Of course, you have downtown trends on 99. You do your dot specials, different colored dots. As I drive to and from work, I say, "Oh, today's a blue day." So that helps bring in people as well.
Yes, it does.
And you said you have men's clothing in there too, so you're not catering just to women or children, but men can go in there and shop. And it's a pretty large facility at Downtown Trends. You have a lot of floor space.
We do have a lot of space, and we have a lot of items, and we get new clothing every day because people are bringing, it's consignment, and people are bringing us new things every single day.
So how does that work real quick, the consignment part? If people have clothes that they want to consign with Downtown Trends, they bring them in. What about donations? Can they just flat out donate? Like, I don't want to sell it, you can just have it. Does it work both ways?
We would love to have donations. That's great. We're a nonprofit, so we can do a tax receipt for people. And if you want to do consignment, then we set up an account for whoever it is, and we price the items, put them in the store. When they sell, the consignor gets 40%, and we keep 60% for the mission, and that's how it works. It's simple.
Okay.
It's easy breezy, yeah.
Are there any particular items that you sell better than others? So if someone's out there thinking, "Ooh, I could possibly do this," is there anything in particular that you need more than other items?
We're doing a lot of winter right now. We try to stay right with the seasons, so because people do run in to get that thing that they want right that minute. So women's just shirts and nice things all the time, and men's pants and stuff sell a lot. Kids clothing, we sell just all kinds of kids clothing.
So we're starting in November right now when this is being filmed. We're now into November, which is kind of scary that the holidays are looming now. So that's another thing. You've got the holiday season rolling around pretty soon. You obviously have nice quality products, so that helps people to shop local as well. Not just consign their goods, but they can also shop local, which of course is the chamber we want to promote and encourage people to do. So excellent. Well, is there anything coming up between Boomerang Fashions and Downtown Trends in the next few months? Any changes, any news, any items you want to go ahead and let people know?
We're just going along, and we're getting ready for the holidays, and just business as usual. All
right, so people can find you downtown Monmouth at Boomerang Fashions. They can find you on Highway 99 with Downtown Trends. Lots of goods to be found, men, women, children, and there you go. All right, well, Jill, thanks for being here today. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Hi, and welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining me now, I have Susan McNaught, who is the Dean of the Chemeketa Community College Dallas Center. Thanks, Susan, for being here.
Thanks for asking.
Now, as far as job opportunities, you've been with the Dean, I should say, you've been the Dean with Chemeketa for about a year and a half now. Why did you choose to take that position?
Several reasons. One, I had worked for Chemeketa before and moved away and did other things. Really wanted to come back. I really believe in the community college, the opportunities that it provides for students and for the community. And the idea of working in an outreach center was really intriguing. I get to wear lots of different hats, do lots of different things, and be involved in the community. So, doesn't get any better.
So wearing lots of different hats, I guess it's never a dull day for you then. You have lots of different opportunities that come their way.
I do, absolutely. It's, you know, I get to hang out with faculty, I get to hang out with students, I get to be out involved in the community. It's great fun.
So how many students would you approximate that you have at the Dallas Center?
We have probably 1,100 students. A lot of our students are part-time, so we have lots going on all the time.
And do you find most of them are Polk County students, or are they commuters who are coming in from other counties as well?
Most of them are Polk County students. They really are.
Okay, so you got 1,200 students that are getting an education,
right
taking
here at
advantage of
home.
opportunities. That's great.
Exactly.
So now, before, you said you were with Chemeketa, then you went away for a little bit, and you came back. How long have you now lived in the Polk County area since you took this job?
We've been back for about 2 years.
Okay.
2.5 maybe.
So it's coming back home then?
It is.
Okay.
It is. It is, very much.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what would you say so far as Dean of the Dallas Center has been one of your greatest accomplishments or successes?
I think, well, I inherited a wonderfully run center, so part of my task is just to not muddle that up. But I think watching our students move on, for me it's all about the students. And for instance, at graduation last year, I love graduation because it's so joyful. But watching our GED students march with all of the others that were getting their degrees as well, and all of those parents and all of those grandparents and all of those kids that had watched their parents working, it's just, that's the great fun.
Just seeing that that accomplishment.
That accomplishment. And the community sharing it, you know, those families that have all, and for many of our students, they're first generations, so this is a really big thing.
Especially, well, at any age, for those particularly, I think, the non-traditional students who later at some point in life have decided that I really do want that degree, I want that opportunity and the education, and they make it happen. I like those stories as well. The people who, this is what I need, I want, and they make it happen.
Well, they've come back, it's their decision, it's not mom or dad's decision, and they juggle a lot to make it happen. Yeah, that commitment's just amazing.
And the value that they have then in that degree of what it means.
They know, because they've been out in the work world. They know what they need and they know how important it is.
And it's great that we have the opportunity here in Polk County where people can go to the Dallas Center and find the value, find the educational opportunity, not have to go elsewhere further to find those opportunities.
And that's the whole point of having an outreach center, is we know that we are a gateway, and a really important gateway for students.
So what would you say is a unique or special feature of Polk County? What really helps separate Polk County from other parts of Oregon, would you say?
Well, it's very rural. So we have a lot of students that are coming from smaller schools, and Dallas feels a little bit safer. But there's also a commitment to education. I look at Western, I look at we've partnered with Central High to do some work, and with Dallas High to do some work. We work with the other schools. So there's a real commitment, I think, to trying to provide opportunities here in the county.
I like that. So the commitment level that the county has given to Chemeketa as far as education is important, providing these opportunities is important.
Oh, absolutely.
Making it happen
absolutely.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working together.
So what would you say has been one of your greatest personal accomplishments or achievements or successes?
Well, besides my 5 kids, they're pretty cool. I think when I got my PhD, because I did it like a lot of students who are coming back. We had, I think, 2 kids when we started, all 5 by the time we finished, because I did it over a period of a number of years. I know what it means to go back to school, to have to juggle all of that good stuff. When I finished, my husband still liked me, the kids still liked me. You know, life was good. They were convinced that I had my nose in a book all the time, but I think that there was also that lesson that education is important. And I think that gave me a perspective with our returning students as well. This is what they have to go through.
So you can actually speak from personal experience.
I can.
Not because you've heard the stories, you can share stories, but
It's
you can
not
speak
theory.
personally. So
No,
5 kids?
5 kids, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of children. And you got a PhD in the midst of growing your family, raising your children, and you have a PhD.
I can tell you about putting the little darlings in bed and then going to study. Yeah.
Tell me a bedtime story. Well, let me read from my textbook. Did you ever do that?
I could have done it with a couple of them. They would have been happy with whatever.
Just hearing Mom's voice. So when you, your PhD is in what topic, what content
It's in post-secondary education, because I knew that I really wanted to work with adult learners. And whether they're young adult learners right out of high school or older adults who are coming back, that's the group that I really enjoy.
So you had your own path, and you yourself have found yourself as a non-traditional student, obviously while getting a PhD, but now you're also working with the students who see the importance of education, so it's sort of a full circle.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, I've been very, very lucky. Lots of doors have opened, and when I wander through, I find wonderful things. So.
Well, good. Well, Chemeketa's definitely fortunate to have you, that's for certain, with that passion and personal experience and drive. I'm glad you're here.
Well, I'm glad I'm here too. Like I said, I love the fact that we can offer opportunities right here where the students are.
Because that's definitely convenient, the comfort of being able to stay close to home for those who want that. You know, there are students who want to get as far away from home as possible when they choose a college, but for others it's comfortable because for whatever reason they like being able to stay home. So it is nice that we have that available here. What would you say, through your experience since you came in as the dean, has been one of the more important memberships of your chamber membership, one of the better benefits of being a chamber member?
I think getting to know the community better. You know, it's one thing to say we want to serve the community, but we really need to understand what the community needs are. And so being able to make those connections, being able to talk with folks that are involved in the community, and finding out ways that we really can partner.
And I know you have a very full schedule on a daily basis. As you said earlier, you wear many hats, but it is nice you do come to some of our forums, you know, when your schedule permits, and it does give you a chance for people to get to know you, you know, as the Dean of Chemeketa for the Dallas Center and whatnot. So we definitely appreciate you sharing your time with us when you can do that.
I love being there. I do.
So here is my favorite question. Definitely is one that has become my favorite question. What is a skill, an interest, or a hobby that you have that might surprise people?
Well, I'm not sure how surprising it is. I love to garden, and I like watching things grow, and I figured out that I grew up in Oklahoma, and the weather is, shall we say, a bit challenging. Here in Oregon, you just sort of point the seeds at the ground and they take it from there, and so then I stand back and feel really smug. But after a hard day, when I've been dealing with faculty issues or student issues or budget issues, I can go out in the garden, and the only questions I have to think about are, you're a flower, you stay, you're a weed, you go. I don't have to worry about, you know, any of the rest. So it's, you know, I guess we grow students, we grow flowers, we grow whatever.
So you had 5 children, so clearly.
And I grow kids.
Wow, gardening, that is definitely not a passion of mine. I don't know, it's just not, I will pull weeds, but that's not, so I'm always interested when people can garden and they're really good at it and they have these really beautiful you know, lawns and flower beds, and I'm like, that's really pretty. So it's like when my husband and I got married and the florist said, what kind of flowers do you want? I was like, pretty ones. So kudos to you. So it gives you your little reprieve. You come home from work and you're stressful and you've had a bad day.
Very straightforward.
Yes. I feel bad for the weeds now.
I can be really mean to the weeds.
So last question, any news, anything, any announcements coming up for the Dallas Center? Anything you want to get out there? It was early November. Right now when we're filming this, anything special coming up you want to do a quick shout out?
We have lots of opportunities for folks to register for winter term. Mostly it's a matter of really trying to reach out and help people get the classes that they need at the time that they need and that sort of thing.
All right.
So just keeping on, I suppose.
Excellent. Well, congratulations for your success thus far, and thanks
you.
for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It was delightful.
Hi, and welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining me now, I have Timm Cable, who is a broker at C Cable Realty. So, Timm, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I know a little bit about you. I know that's potentially what the answer to this first question is going to be, but why Monmouth Independence? When you were joining the professional ranks of the real estate business, if you will, why Monmouth Independence?
Well, my parents had the business. As I grew up, not my entire youth, but when I got into high school, my dad became a broker. They bought the company. It was always an opportunity for my siblings and I, if we were interested, to join the business. In 1990, the opportunity was right, so I came to work with them.
So this was your hometown at that point. It was home for you, and you decided just to go ahead and join the family business.
Yes, the opportunity, as I say, was there. I think the market wasn't particularly good in the 80s. It was coming back, and so I saw an opportunity to join the family business, and it seemed to work out well.
Also, and it has continued to work out well for you by all noticeable, like what it looks like.
I think so. I mean, for a family business, we seem to know our roles and get along well and enjoy the work, and so yeah, it's worked out real nice.
So would you say has been one of your greatest accomplishments or successes professionally as a broker with C Cable Realty?
I would think, in answering that, it's those transactions where maybe there's some challenges for one of the clients, and to work through that with them to overcome the obstacles. I guess I'll use the buyer side to then become a homeowner maybe for the first time, the excitement, what that means to a family. Those successes are the ones that are the most enjoyable for me.
Well, I'm sure seeing someone who becomes the homeowner for the first time has to be a thrilling experience when it's something that someone's planned and they're finally making that achievement, they've made it a reality, and you're the one who helped make that happen. Yeah,
and not solely me, but being part of that team that gets that done, is great satisfaction, and just really enjoyable to see those kinds of outcomes.
So since you've been in the Monmouth Independence community for most of your life, what would you say is a unique feature of our community? What makes us stand out from other places?
Even though, we've grown considerably, I think that small town atmosphere is what attracts people here. It's affordable. Proximity to a lot of different things for people to enjoy, whether it's the coast or the mountains. We are relatively close to an urban center, and so I think with that small town appeal, that's what brings people to Monmouth Independence.
It's definitely a feature that my husband and I have enjoyed coming from North Carolina and living in the Monmouth Independence area. Like you said, you can get to the coast very quickly. You can get to Portland, the mountains, and everything's it's a nice central location, but yet you have everything you need right here too. Yeah. You don't have to drive to those other places.
No, by no stretch do you. But I think, at the end of the day, people like that small town vibe that Monmouth Independence has, and that's what's brought people here.
I would definitely agree with that. So let's go more on transition to the personal side. What would you say thus far has been one of your greatest accomplishments or successes personally?
Personal accomplishments. You know, I don't know. I guess I've been fortunate enough to received within our Polk County Association of Realtors, our local realtor group recognizes as Realtor of the Year. And that's an award that's given maybe not so much for productivity, business-wise, but more what you're contributing to our organization, promoting property rights, home ownership, these types of issues, locally, statewide, et cetera. And it's an honor that my peers recognize, I guess, those kind of contributions was quite nice.
Well, and also in March of 2014, so this year, with the Chamber, you're recognized by the community as the first citizen recipient, which being on the administrative side of it and reading people's comments and what they shared about you, you've definitely made a great impact in the community in many ways as well, beyond with the realtors, as far as coaching, I believe, and just other community involvement that you've had. People have spoken very highly of you.
Well, and that too was a humbling honor. Yes, to be recognized, in the community. I'll probably repeat myself, but my father, he received that same award too, and my folks instilled those values in us that be involved, be a good example, work in your community, and I guess kind of reap the rewards.
Well, well, and clearly the community appreciates the endeavors. This year for our awards banquet, we actually had people nominate online, and for our business awards, they got to vote online. But the idea that people could nominate individuals for the individual awards, and just watching the number of people who submitted your name, and again, the comments that they shared, you definitely have touched a lot of people's lives in a very positive direction of being just who you are and how your parents have raised you. So congratulations on all of your successes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what would you say, this is a fun question for me, it might make people nervous now. What would you say is a hobby or a skill that you have, an interest you have that would surprise people?
I don't know that it would surprise people, but I enjoy working with kids. My boys are middle school, high school age now, but as they grew up, I got involved in their sports and enjoy coaching. Working with youth, I've had the opportunity to be involved with the night court program, and just, I guess, again, trying to be a positive influence. People did that for us as we grew up, and I guess kind of like to continue that, and it's enjoyable. I like that.
So do you have a favorite sport? You talked about being a coach. Is there a favorite sport you enjoy coaching?
No, I kind of like what's in season, I guess, okay. and they're all fun.
Given your height, didn't know if basketball was an interest personally, maybe when you were a kid, or
Probably was, yeah. Growing up was, probably my favorite. But as I've gotten older, I enjoy the strategies of all of them, football and baseball, and just seeing the kids succeed and have successes is just a lot of fun.
Well, again, coming from North Carolina, it's home of ACC, so basketball is quite a big deal back there. And coming out here, this is a change that I've noticed. College hoops don't have quite the same caliber as maybe the NBA out here, so that has been a transition. But it's still fun. My husband used to coach for a while, so working with the students, the X's and the O's, the strategy, really helping them learn the process of the game, not just the skill set that it takes, but the intellect behind of it also is fun. I mean, I personally never coached, but going to practices and whatnot, it's interesting watching the kids learn.
It is, and that along with what they'll take, I guess, what life skills you can learn from that team environment and working together for a common goal is fun to watch them develop that too, I think. So.
Well, I'm sure, and having the ability to sit back and let the kids learn on their own as well and be the guiding influence, again, has helped make you who you are with the successes that you've had. So, well done.
Thank you.
So, any news coming up for Sea Cable Realty? Anything happening in the near future?
Nothing earth-shattering. I think we just continue to strive to serve our clients well. You know, be there, and again, kind of working through the process of a transaction, whatever side, you know, a client is on, that it's successful for them, and if they're successful, you know, we'll be successful.
Great. Well, Tim, thank you for coming and sharing some time with us today and helping people get to know you a little bit more than perhaps they did previously.
Well, thanks so much, Jean, for having me.
Thanks.